Hi guys, I hope you're doing great, and today we are going to learn about the clipping mask, and not just clipping mask, other masking options as well. The draw inside option, the opacity mask, and then there is this also another option called draw behind. So which is not very important, but it's over there and we are going to cover it. So let me zoom back over here, and now we are going to learn about the clipping mask. So let's change color of this one. Let me double click on this, or let me just I just remember why I kept them both over here. So I'm gonna bring in an image over here. For example, this texture pattern I have over here, or maybe this image over here. Let's try on this image. So the reason I made a fill layer and with just a stroke is because they actually work the same when it comes to a clipping mask. So my image is behind, my shape is in front. Your shape has to be in front to create the clipping mask. If it's on the back side, it won't work. So let me show you. I'm gonna select both of them, right click, and then there is option for transform, then arrange. Similarly, select. If you come over here, it says make clipping mask. So if you click on this, you will see that basically the whole image is over there, and it converted it into this clipping mask, and we can only see the circle inside. And let me show you the layers as well. So let me come over here. If we go to the layers, let's put both of these on a separate layer. I'm gonna select them, press Ctrl or Command X to cut it, and let's put it on a separate layer. So I just press Ctrl or Command Shift V. So now we can see this clipping group. Let me bring this over here, and we have this clipping group. Let me make this bigger so that you could see everything properly. So I'm gonna make this bigger, maybe like 40 pixels. Yeah, so you can see everything properly. So this is the clipping group. When I click on this, you can see that this part is getting highlighted, this circle. And if I look into the clipping group, you can see that the circle is on the top, the fill and the stroke of the circle goes away, and the image is at the bottom. So if I click on this, it is selecting the clipping group and it will move everything. What if I just want to move the image inside? So you can simply click over here. You can see now it's selected the image, and now I can move it inside, just like the clipping mask in Photoshop. Okay, and what if I just want to move the circle? Similarly, I can click over here, and now I can, sorry, if I click on this, I should be able to move the circle. So yeah, you can see that now I can move the circle only. So these are like the edges of the image. So I'm gonna center it like this, and we are good to go. So yeah, let me put this to the side. Let me bring this back over here and release clipping mask. If you want to release it, you can click on this, and let me show you what will happen if the image was at the front. So if I put the image at the front, I will right click on this, arrange and bring to front. So now if I select both of them, let me zoom in, then right click and make clipping mask, it won't work because the image has to be behind the circle. So yeah, let me delete this and let me show you what will happen if we make the same thing on a circle which has, sorry, only just stroke. So let me cut it and put it on this layer as well, and let's delete this so that we could see everything over here properly. So you can see that I have this circle over here, this one, okay, and the image is over here, this one. Now I'm gonna select both of them, right click and make clipping mask. So basically this is exactly the same thing. There is no difference between a filled circle or a stroked circle or any other shape. Okay, so yeah, let me press Ctrl or Command Z on this as well, and let me delete it. So you can basically do this with anything you want. So I have some text over here. I'm gonna bring it over here. Let me cut it and paste it on this layer. So you can see that my text is at the top. So I wrote my own name over here, very tacky. So I'm gonna select both of them, right click, and then click on make clipping mask. So you can see that the image is actually inside my name now. Let me zoom in, and if I want to basically move the image inside, I can click on this, open the clipping group, select the image, and now I can select the image, and now I should be able to move it. Why can't I move it? Okay, so there are some things in which you can do this, because this text is actually editable. So that is why it is not letting me do this. So what you can do is you can double click on this to open up isolation mode. And now when you will click on the image, you should be able to move it. Yeah. So now basically you can move it. So I'm gonna place it over here like this. And for the text, I can basically give it some stroke to see if everything looks all right. So I'm gonna give it some stroke, go to properties, increase the stroke a little, and let's make the stroke black. So yeah, you can see that the image is inside the text now. How cool is this? So yeah, this was everything on clipping mask. And now let me show you how the draw inside option works. So let me come over here. Let me zoom in. So you can see that this is the normal option over here. If you come down over here below everything, this is the normal option which says draw normal. Then there is draw behind option, and then there is draw inside option. So let me just click on draw behind just to quickly show you how it works. So I'm gonna select like the brush tool, and let's increase the stroke to something really big. So now if I draw over here, you will see that it will automatically go behind it. To be honest, there's nothing special behind it. I can simply create a layer below it and draw like this. But for this draw behind option, it only lets you draw anything behind a specific object. So yeah, not very important for me at least. So the one which I like the most, this one, it's called draw inside. So if you click on this, basically it converts the whole thing into a clipping mask. Let me show you how. So now if I select the brush tool like before, and if I let me change the color to black and increase the stroke. So now if I draw over here, you can see that I cannot even see what I have drawn over here, because I have selected this as a clipping mask, and I can only draw inside this. So you can see I can only draw inside this. So I usually make teach this concept by making a basketball. So let's try that. So I'm gonna select a really darker kind of color over here of orange like this, and then I'm gonna select the ellipse tool. Let's increase the stroke and see if this looks all right. So let me change the color. Let's select black. Okay, so let me increase the color, increase the stroke, and now I'm going to create basically a basketball over here. So let me adjust it. I guess this is how it looks like. Let me check. I'm just playing around with it. So yeah, you can see that we have basically made a basketball over here. Not a very good one, but yeah, since I cannot draw outside, and this is acting as a clipping mask, I can draw whatever I want inside. And if I click on this, and if I go to layers over here, let me put all of this on a separate layer as well, so that you could see what's going on. So if I open this, you can see this is also a clipping group. Okay, so if I open this shape is at the very top, and all the other shapes are below it. So yeah, it is just like any other clipping group. I can click on this and I can move it up or down. So yeah, This is how the draw inside option works. I really love this option because if your objective is to draw just inside a specific path or a shape, this is how you can do it. And lastly, we are going to cover the opacity mask. So let me use the same image over here. Let me zoom out. So this was the image which I had. Let me release the clipping mask and let me bring this over here. So let me put all of this on a separate layer as well so that we could see what's going on. So if I bring this up like this, let me put it over here. So now if I create a clipping mask on it, what will happen? Even though this is a gradient, this is actually a gradient applied on a shape. If I right click, select this, right click on it and make a clipping mask, it will simply clip all the sides. Okay. So we don't want this. We want this to be as a opacity mask. Basically, the top part is black, so it should be getting invisible, and the bottom part should be getting visible. Or we could do the other way around. So we're gonna select both of these, and then we are gonna go to properties. And over here you can go to opacity, and there is this option of make mask. To be honest, I've been frightened of this for a very long time. Then I decided to learn about this. So you're gonna click on make mask and look at the magic. So basically it is showing you the mask. We already know the white part basically means it is showing this part, and the top part is black, and the other part which is completely black, it means we cannot see it. And we now have this opacity mask. You can click on this, and let me tell you, there is another problem which a lot of people face. If you have the opacity mask selected, you cannot do anything else. So you can see I'm trying to select this and this is not working for me. So for that you will have to click on this. You will have to go to opacity and click away from the mask. So this is the mask, and click on the image. Now you will be able to edit things anywhere else. Sorry about that. So let's select this, go to opacity, and you can basically play around with this as well. You can unclip it and move this up and down. Okay, let me come back over here. So and this is also a clipping group like before. So let me go to layers, let me open this, and so this is actually working as a single image. This is a little different than clipping mask. So if I click on this, go to properties, go to opacity, and if I want to edit this, I will actually have to release this and then make it again. And then there is this option for basically knocking out and isolating and other stuff as well. And if you want to release it, you can simply click on release, and the shape, the gradient, and the clipping mask, the opacity mask are separated. So yeah, this was everything on different kind of masks in Illustrator. And I know those of you who use Photoshop, they find it very easy in Photoshop, but it seems very daunting in Illustrator. So I hope you guys, after this class, you guys are very comfortable using clipping mask and other kind of mask in Illustrator. So I hope you guys like this class. See you guys in the next one.